welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Well, tonight, the news, the other night, so it was Saturday night, today's Monday night. The news, when I got to the Arnold Expo Sunday morning, was the comeback of Flex Wheeler. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I knew he was going back in the gym to start training, but I was under the impression that it was going to be for like a guest posing type thing. He was just going to unveil his new physique and just do kind of a transformation and kind of just, leave it at that. Well, things have progressed and he's decided to compete in classic physique, okay? Not the regular bodybuilding division. Classic physique, men's IFBB Pro. I believe at the Olympia. So I believe it's probably going to be a special invite, much like Levroni was. And he'll be competing. Now, let's back up for a second. I have seen footage of Flex in the gym. Many people bust his balls about having oil in his arms. Here's the deal. I don't think he put oil in his arms after he got out of the competition thing. I never saw his arms really shrink up at all. I think he was using oil while he was competing. And there's some scar tissue and stuff in there that leave it kind of swollen up. As much like I got in my delts, which gives my delts kind of a bigger appearance, kind of like a weird, strange appearance. And I think that could be going on in there. They used to site inject things a lot back in the day too. It wasn't just glute shots and quad shots. It was stuff in the delts and arms. I know a lot of guys shot stuff in the arms back in the day. They also used acetylene, which had what was it? It was like a painkiller in it. I remember what lidocaine in it, and it actually caused a lot of scar tissue because they were actually using a lot of these things. And I saw the footage of him, and he looks pretty muscular already. Like he was doing bench presses on a hamstring machine. He was pretty like striding through his chest and shit, and that's better than he's looked at a long time already. Okay, that's this far out. Now, here's the deal. Do I think he can do well at classic physique? Now, I've talked to some industry insiders, some big names in the industry about this. As soon as I found out, I was like, holy shit, is this true? They're like, yes. They don't think he'll be able to do it. They think that it's because of his kidney, that when he starts to push the envelope with the training. Now, will he have to push the drugs? Honestly, I don't think so. Classic physique, I don't think he's going to need to load up like he did for the Olympia, back in the day. I think he maybe used half of what he used, if not, maybe not even that. He is a genetic freak, hands down. But he's got one kidney, and it's a smaller kidney. It was given to him by a woman. It's a smaller kidney. And there's a good chance he could fuck with that if he's doing the wrong things. That being said, what's my opinion on it? Well, I support it. The person that I talked to the other day in the airport for a long time does not support it and thinks it's a stupid idea. I support it, and I support Kevin, and I'll tell you why. I think every person has their own journey. And no matter how much we can't understand what they want to do or what they're going through or whatever, I watched the video from Generation Iron with Flex talking about the comeback. He talked about being sexually molested when he was younger. I mean, he talked about all these things that I had never heard about. He never talked about supposedly on camera or anything that he, I think, still struggles with to this day. And bodybuilding and, competing was something he was good at. He was, the best in the world underneath Dorian Yates. He won the Arnold. He won all those shows. The Olympia is the only one he never grabbed. And he's good at it. And I think that, when you get in a situation where something like that is taken away from you, it's very hard to not want to relive those days. I talked to Sean Ray the other day, and Sean was said, I'm sure that, we would all love to go back and try to do what we did in our youth, but our bodies are different. Our bodies are older now. They don't respond the same. They don't have the same look. It's not even going to respond the same to drugs. So, Sean didn't think it was a good idea, but I support it. I support Flex. I support Kevin. A friend of mine, Anthony DeRezzo, died at a show. So it would be easy for me to say, it's a dumb idea. Somebody's going to hurt themselves. But if someone goes out and actually dies doing what they love doing, as much as how some of us can't comprehend what that's like, being that free to do what you really love doing. I mean, he stepped back and didn't compete for years, but he loves that competition. He loves that lifestyle. He loves the challenge. He loves everything about it, and it draws him back, just like it drew back Kevin. So to do what you love to do and possibly die doing it, how can I knock someone for that? I completely understand. I mean, imagine one thing that you love to do and just saying you can never do it again, ever in your entire life. I mean, would you be able to do that for the next 30 to 40 years? I mean, could you even imagine doing anything, like whether it's working or just drinking water or whatever for 40 years, doing one thing for 40 years? No? Okay, well, how about not, doing the one thing that you love for 40 years? You know, like it's hard to wrap your mind around forever. You know, like retirement is forever. So a lot of people retire, you know, from their jobs. You know, I got a buddy in, you know, moved to Italy, retired, moved to Italy, he's excited. Like 3 or 4 months into his fucking retirement, he's like, I'm gonna open a gym because I'm fucking tired. I'm bored out of my mind. He has to work. He has to. It's something he has to. So he needs money. But for him to keep his mind sharp and have something to do and enjoy his life, he has to have something to do. He's opening a gym. He loves the gym. That's what he did. So I don't know. I think that, you know, if something bad comes of this, it was Flex's decision. He chose it. He knows the risks. He's a grown ass man. He knows the risks, and whatever happens is going to happen. Now, will he do well? Judging by the criteria that they had last year, the smaller guy won. I think Flex will definitely be a bigger guy. I think he's looking to come in at about 215 or maybe around there, 215. He's a little bit taller than I am. He's probably about 3 or 4 inches taller than I am, which would be, you know, a decent sized guy, but not huge by any means. He's not going to be the 250-pound monster he once was. And I'm just really, really interested to see what he's going to look like in the end. Like, everybody thought that Kevin couldn't do what he did. He didn't win the Olympia, but nobody thought he'd be able to put together a package like he did. You know, and that even inspired Kevin himself to go on to say, I'm going to bring up my legs and compete again. This time not in the Olympia, to qualify the Olympia, to prove that I'm good enough to be there. And I think that, you know, Flex is going to give it hell. He's one of the guys like Kevin, who's one of the top legends of all times. Responds great to, you know, drugs, food, training, everything. And he's got that fucking wild hair across his ass again to compete. So if he's one of the best all time and he's in the Hall of Fame and he wants to do it again and he's under a doctor's care and he's okay, why the fuck should we bitch and complain, you know? So I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out. And, you know, there's a possibility in the end you'll see Kevin back in the Olympia stage and Flex on the Olympia stage in the other division, which I think would be absolutely fucking mind-blowing because 3 years ago, this wouldn't be on anyone's radar anywhere. You know, I mean, it's fucking crazy. So let's see. BioCtraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is a blog. It's the fucking retired for sure bicep, and we're out.